Welcome everyone. In today's video, I wanted to talk about some important developments within the Bitcoin ecosystem and how we can benefit from that. Now, what's happening right now is a bit of a revolution, and you should definitely be paying attention to what's happening, as a lot of money can be made if you play this right. Now, as you can see from the title here, NFTs, layer 2s and DeFi are coming to Bitcoin. So let's just discuss a little bit of history about NFTs on Bitcoin. So as you can see here, NFTs aren't exactly new. Some of the more popular ones are the rare Pepe NFTs, which sell for a pretty penny right now. And they've been around for a while, but 2023 has welcomed in a new era of Bitcoin NFTs, and we'll talk about this in a second. So you might have seen this going around on crypto Twitter or somewhere else in the crypto space. So this is the first in a new wave of Bitcoin NFTs. Now these are called the Taproot Wizards, but it's not only Taproot Wizards that we see as Bitcoin NFTs. People have now started inscribing new ordinals. So we can see here classic CryptoPunks, Ether Rocks and Bored Apes. But let's talk more about how ordinals actually came about. So this is all thanks to Casey. You can follow him on Twitter here. He's a Chad Bitcoin developer. So in December of 2022, Casey released an open source software called Ord that runs on Bitcoin Core full nodes. This software allows for users to encode computer files into hexadecimal data inside a Bitcoin transaction, and that is called an inscription. And these inscriptions can be bound to individual sats, which effectively creates an NFT or an ordinal. So an ordinal or a Bitcoin NFT can be used interchangeably here. So inscriptions aren't anything new within the Bitcoin space. As you can see here on this chart, they've existed from the very start of Bitcoin. But with Ord, the software that Casey created, users can inscribe larger pieces of data. Now these inscribed sats now have more information on them that can be traded, which allows them to be used similarly to NFTs. So how is all of this possible? Well, it's all thanks to the Taproot upgrade in 2021 and the SegWit upgrade in 2017. As combined, they allow for significant arbitrary data storage and cheaper transaction data. So I'm not going to go into exactly what Taproot and SegWit are, as you can find explanations of them online. But just know these two important upgrades to Bitcoin made all of this possible. So why is this a big deal? Why do people care about inscriptions and ordinals? Well, now Bitcoin has greater functionality, and it can no longer just be digital gold. That is one problem that people had for a while, is that Bitcoin was just that, digital gold. You couldn't really do anything with it. You couldn't really do anything with it as opposed to Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, all of the other cryptocurrencies out there. And so with the new discoveries made about Bitcoin, we have new projects coming out. This one I wanted to talk about in particular, Rollkit, which is a modular framework for rollups. So they've discovered that you can use Bitcoin as a data availability layer. So they're bringing rollups to Bitcoin. And with rollups, what else does that bring? It brings DeFi, it brings NFTs, it brings gaming, lots of various different use cases for Bitcoin now. As you can see here, they put out a tweet. They say their demo features a Rollkit EVM sovereign rollup running on top of a local Bitcoin testnet. So in the future, this could potentially mean that we see Solidity-based apps running on Bitcoin layer 2s. So Aave, MakerDAO, Uniswap, that sort of thing might start coming to Bitcoin, which is pretty awesome. And so another reason for why this is a big deal is because it helps to solve Bitcoin's declining security budget. So as you can see here, the security budget divided by market cap of Bitcoin has actually decreased over time. So this is the block rewards plus transaction fees generated. It's been going down, and this is a concern because the lower it goes, the more susceptible Bitcoin is to attack. So I can just give a quick explanation of what's happening. So Bitcoin's security depends on miners who validate new transactions and add new blocks to the chain. So miners are currently incentivized through block rewards and transaction fees. So as block rewards decrease over time, transaction fees will have to increase to keep Bitcoin secure. So as we know, there is a hard cap on the amount of Bitcoins that can actually be circulated. And it is theorized that the last Bitcoin will be mined in 2041. And then after that, Bitcoin will have to run purely on transaction fees. But it's likely that Bitcoin is going to run into issues before then because of the declining security budget. So previously, it was thought that Bitcoin would run into issues with transaction fees keeping Bitcoin alive, as users are unlikely to pay high transaction fees. So for Bitcoin to maintain a reasonable security budget, it is likely that users would have to pay transaction fees in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Now, if you can't really do anything with Bitcoin and you can only use it to just transfer money around, potentially we'd have a big problem there. The ordinary person, people in third world countries or people on the run from corrupt governments, it's unlikely that they're going to pay hundreds of dollars in transaction fees, and low fees equal weak security, and it makes the Bitcoin blockchain more susceptible to attack. But with the recent developments in the Bitcoin community, it could mean that layer 2s, DeFi and NFTs could actually help save Bitcoin's declining security budget as more and more people buy Bitcoin and use it to speculate on NFTs or do different things in DeFi. But I know there's one thing on your mind right now. How do we make money from all of this? Well, simply you could long Bitcoin. If people are going to speculate on NFTs, do different things on DeFi and submit transactions to various different Bitcoin rollups, that increases the amount of people who are actually going to buy Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin in larger amounts to speculate and as to use as transaction fees. As we can see here, this is a chart of Ethereum DeFi, and there's $28.73 billion locked up in Ethereum DeFi. And potentially in the future, Bitcoin could achieve something similar to this. Not to say that they will overtake Ethereum, but using Bitcoin to speculate on NFTs, using Bitcoin as collateral in DeFi helps solidify itself as base money. The second way that you can make money on this is by trading the ordinals. All of these NFTs, they're going to have some sort of historical value. That original Taproot wizard, it has historical value and it's likely to trade for hundreds of thousands, if not millions in the future. You know, things like CryptoPunks and Ether Rocks, they have historical value as not the first NFTs on Ethereum, but some of the first original sets on Ethereum, and they sell for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. And it's likely that some of these ordinals are going to trade similarly. And lastly, you could be early to the DeFi ecosystem that is potentially coming to Bitcoin. We've seen the rise of Ethereum DeFi tokens, and we might see something similar for the Bitcoin DeFi tokens as well. So what you need to do, you need to keep a close eye on what's happening in the Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem, start using all of the new protocols to potentially get airdrops. You can farm hot new tokens and so on and so forth. And so just be early to that ecosystem, start using it as soon as it pops up. And so in further videos, I'm going to show you guys how to start trading ordinals on Bitcoin, how to set up a wallet, fund it, and going to some of these marketplaces to start trading these NFTs. So keep an eye out for that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this in the future.